Firearms history often repeats itself. Designs once retired or forgotten eventually return reborn through modern craftsmanship, advanced materials, and a renewed appreciation for mechanical excellence. As the firearm world looks toward 2026 8 rifles, once considered relics are stepping back into the light. These are not simple reissues for collectors. They are reinventions of classic engineering that still holds its own against today's technology. Each of these rifles, whether a military legend, a lever-action icon, or a civilian masterpiece, carries the DNA of its era, while gaining the precision and reliability of modern production. Their comeback proves one undeniable truth: innovation never truly disappears, it simply evolves. This review explores the design, performance, and purpose of each rifle, revealing how history and progress are once again aligned, and why these 8 names are expected to dominate conversations among marksmen, collectors, and enthusiasts in the coming year. We begin with the Heckler Koch SL8, the civilian offspring of the iconic 36 assault rifle. Objectively, the SL8 is a semi-automatic, precision-oriented rifle chambered in 5.56 by 45 mm NATO, built with the same cold hammer forged barrel and polymer receiver that defined the G36. It was originally designed for target shooters who wanted military-grade precision in a civilian legal format. The new 2026 reissue keeps that identity intact, but adds refinements to make it more versatile. The trigger is smoother, the cycling is cleaner, and the barrel harmonics have been improved for better long-range grouping. There is something undeniably sterile about its design. The rifle feels clinical, almost too efficient. But that sterility is its secret strength. The SL8 rewards discipline and consistency. Every shot feels deliberate, measured, and precise. In a world dominated by lightweight carbines, the SL8 remains a German statement on what happens when precision takes priority over flash. The weight can be tiring, and it will never win any awards for agility. But for marksmen who value accuracy above all else, this rifle remains one of the most mechanically balanced semi-autos on the market. Pricing for the latest models is expected to fall between $1,700 and $2,000, depending on configuration. It's not cheap, but it delivers exactly what it promises: repeatable precision with impeccable build quality. From a rifle that represents cold efficiency, we move to one that bleeds history. The M1 Garand, the rifle General Patton once called the greatest battle implement ever devised, is set for a renewed production under the civilian marksmanship program. Objectively, the M1 is a semi-automatic 3006 Springfield battle rifle that defined the American infantryman during the Second World War. Its new production run keeps the original design, but modernizes the materials. Brand new receivers, fresh steel barrels, and American walnut stocks return this weapon to its former glory. On paper, it's a simple mechanism: gas-operated, 8-round on-block clip, iron sights that are precise but not fragile. In practice, it's an experience. There is nothing quite like the solid push of the Garand's recoil, or the sharp metallic ring of the clip ejecting after the last shot. Subjectively, shooting it feels like handling a living piece of history, powerful, weighty, and deeply satisfying. For collectors, it's nostalgia. For new shooters, it's a chance to understand where modern semi-automatics came from. It's not light, it's not modular, but it's immortal. The expected retail price through CMP and associated dealers should hover between $1,200 and $1,600, making it one of the most attainable historical rifles that still performs reliably on the range. The next rifle represents the opposite philosophy, a futuristic approach that somehow never became outdated. The Steyr AUG has been around since the late 1970s, yet it continues to look and perform like a weapon from the future. The 2026 iteration of the AUG A3 M1 refines its modular system and optical integration. Objectively, this is a gas piston-operated bullpup chambered in 5.56 NATO, with quick change barrel capability. It's compact, accurate, and incredibly durable. The bullpup layout places the action behind the trigger, which shortens the overall length without compromising barrel performance. For urban or close-quarters environments, this means you get rifle power in sub-carbine dimensions. The AUG's trigger has always been its main criticism, but new trigger packs have significantly improved its break and reset. Subjectively, the AUG feels surprisingly ergonomic once you get used to its geometry. The balance sits near the shoulder, the recoil impulse is gentle, and the rifle naturally returns to target. It's not the kind of weapon that disappears in your hands. It demands attention, but in a good way. Its unique silhouette and mechanical reliability keep it relevant even as new designs flood the market. Priced around $2,000 to $2,500 depending on configuration, the AUG remains the premier bullpup for those who value compact efficiency and mechanical excellence. While the Steyr represents precision and design evolution, the Finnish Valmet rifles represent pure mechanical refinement of one of history's toughest platforms. The Valmet M76 and M78 are essentially Finland's perfected versions of the AUG family. They take the raw reliability of the Kalashnikov system and elevate it with cold weather engineering, tighter tolerances, and milled receivers. Objectively, the M76 and M78 are known for exceptional durability and consistent accuracy across both intermediate and full power calibers. They are built like tanks but finished like fine instruments. Every part feels deliberate, every line machined to perfection. Subjectively, firing a Valmet feels like using an AUG that's been given a Swiss watchmaker's soul. The recoil is smooth, the controls are familiar yet more refined, and the reliability is unquestionable. They've always been rare, coveted by collectors, and if reintroduced even in limited numbers, that scarcity will only increase their allure. Expect prices to range anywhere from $2,000 to $3,000 or more, depending on model and import status. The Valmet doesn't chase trends. It stands as proof that when you combine simplicity with craftsmanship, you create something timeless. From the cold precision of Finland, we move to a rifle that history forgot before it ever had a chance to prove itself, the Armalite AR-180. Developed as a simplified successor to the AR-15, this rifle used a stamped steel receiver and a short-stroke piston system instead of direct impingement. Objectively, it was ahead of its time, lighter than the M16, cheaper to produce, and more tolerant of neglect. But timing is everything, and the AR-180 never got the military contracts it needed to thrive. In 2026, new manufacturing technologies, like CNC milling and improved materials, are making a modern revival possible. Subjectively, the AR-180 feels like the best parts of an AR and an AUG blended together, accurate, lightweight, and easier to clean than either. The side-folding stock makes it portable, and the simplicity of the design makes it appealing for both collectors and shooters who value reliability without frills. Its only weakness historically was limited parts support, but a modern reboot could change that entirely. Estimated pricing for a revived AR-180 should fall between $1,400 and $1,900, depending on materials and feature sets. For enthusiasts who appreciate underdogs, the AR-180's comeback is poetic justice. After several tactical and military-inspired designs, it's time to shift gears into classic Americana. The Marlin 336 Classic stands at the heart of the lever-action revival, sweeping the U.S. market. Under new ownership by Ruger, Marlin rifles have regained their reputation for quality control and precision machining. Objectively, the 336 is chambered in .30-30 Winchester or .35 Remington, operates with a solid top receiver and side ejection for scope compatibility, and carries a 6-round tubular magazine. Its action is buttery smooth, and its reliability in the field is unmatched. Subjectively, this rifle feels alive in your hands. It's balanced, simple, and beautifully made, with walnut furniture that connects generations of hunters. The new manufacturing tolerances give it a modern feel, while keeping its traditional soul intact. It's not a rifle for speed or volume, it's a rifle for confidence. Every shot is deliberate, every cycle reassuring. Expected retail sits around $1,000 to $1,400, placing it within reach for most hunters and collectors. In an age of polymer and optics, the 336 reminds us that steel and wood still have a place in the modern arsenal. Continuing in the lever-action lineage, the Savage Model 99 is another rifle poised for resurrection. When it first appeared, it was revolutionary, a lever gun, capable of using Spitzer bullets thanks to its rotary magazine, something no tubular-fed rifle could safely handle. Objectively, this made it the first truly modern lever action, chambered for cartridges like the .300 Savage and .308 Winchester, offering ballistic performance competitive with bolt actions of its era. Its unique internal design gave it smooth feeding and a distinctive aesthetic. Subjectively, the Model 99 feels almost elegant. The balance is superb, the action crisp, and the design forward-thinking even by today's standards. In an era where lever guns are regaining popularity for both hunting and personal defense, the Model 99 fits perfectly into the narrative of practical nostalgia. A 2026 revival with modern machining could bring new life to this design, offering both collectors and new shooters a chance to own a piece of mechanical innovation reborn. Expected pricing for a modern production run would likely sit between $1,200 and $1,800, depending on finish and configuration. The Model 9999's return would not just be a comeback, it would be a correction, restoring a design that never should have disappeared. Finally, we close with a rifle that bridges history, adventure, and legacy, the Winchester Model 1895. Designed by John Moses Browning, this was the first lever-action rifle built to handle high-pressure smokeless powder cartridges, including .3006 Springfield and .405 Winchester. Objectively, it was a technological marvel for its time, using a vertical locking block system and a box magazine that allowed pointed bullets without the risk of primer contact. It served in wars, on safaris, and in the hands of legendary figures including President Theodore Roosevelt. Subjectively, shooting the Model 1895 is like stepping into another century. The lever throw is long but smooth, the recoil firm but manageable, and the craftsmanship unmistakably classic. There is an honesty in how it functions, a direct link between design and purpose. Winchester's rumored 2026 limited reintroduction aims to preserve that legacy with modern steel, CNC precision, and traditional craftsmanship. Expected pricing for these rifles will range between $1,800 and $2,500, particularly for special Roosevelt edition or commemorative releases. The Model 1895 doesn't just mark the end of an era, it proves that old ideas can remain relevant when executed perfectly. In the end, the return of these 8 rifles is more than nostalgia. It's a testament to timeless design and enduring function. Each of them stands as evidence that quality craftsmanship and practical engineering can outlive trends, politics, and market cycles. The SL8 Garand, AUG, Valmet, AR-180 Marlin, Savage, and Winchester 1895 all serve as milestones in firearm evolution, reminding us how precision, durability, and innovation can transcend decades. Their reappearance in 2026 is not just about reviving the past, but about merging heritage with new possibilities. As technology advances, these rifles remain anchors of authenticity, symbols of how excellence survives when passion meets purpose. Whether in the hands of collectors, competitive shooters, or new generations discovering them for the first time, their resurgence proves that the greatest firearms never truly fade. They simply wait for the right moment to return.